Hello and welcome to the Art Market Podcasts. Today we've got the lovely James Green. Hello James, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm very well, thank you.
And for the listeners, can you tell us a little bit about your company and your business and what you do?
I'm a printmaker and an artist, and I kind of go under the name James Green Printworks. I do lino cuts. I've been doing them for about 8-9 years now, about 3 years full-time though. So yeah, it's become a very full-time thing for me.
So how did you begin? Did you go to university and learn it there, or...?
Well, I did study fine art at university a long time ago, but I didn't actually do any printmaking there. I did painting and photography. So it was quite a few years afterwards where I just stumbled across some lino cut tools and I thought, I'll have a go with these. And I just found it very fulfilling and a lot more fun than any art that I'd done previously.
And for the listeners, can you explain a little bit about the process and what is lino cut, just in case people don't know?
Okay. Well, you basically get a piece of lino, which is similar to the floor lino, people used to have in their kitchens. Yeah. And you just cut out, remove, parts of the lino with a tool to create your shape. You roll ink onto it, put paper on top, and put it through a printing press, and then you've got a picture. Wow. It's basically relief printing. I think that's the professional expression for it.
Who's inspired you with in this kind of work?
Well, there's a lot of people who aren't necessarily printmakers who have inspired me, I think, to create my work, like artists like Max Beckmann and Egon Schiele, but also sort of people like animators like Jans Vankmeijer. Just people who work in a certain way. It just seems to somehow transfer into the kind of work that I do, because theirs is fairly graphic and fairly sort of simple in a way, but not... It's complex, but initially it looks quite simple, and I'm very attracted to that.
And when you're first starting to do any piece that you do, is there a process you go through, or does it just come to you in the middle of the night? I want to do this.
There's a fair bit of planning that goes on. Because, I don't find that you can necessarily be that spontaneous with lino cut, because every mark you make is there and you can't go back. So there's a process of, I take a lot of photographs before I start. I do a lot of thinking and head scratching, and do lots of drawings as well. And then when I'm finally happy with a composition, then I'll transfer it to the lino. And
then do you decide on what colours you're going to have with the ink afterwards, obviously?
Yeah. It takes me a few goes to get the right combinations. I think colours is, for me, one of the hardest things to do and the hardest things to get right. You could do a really good picture and you completely ruin it by choosing the wrong colours, or choosing colours that just aren't, just don't go together, or just, in my mind, that is,
And does that happen a lot? Are you kind of like going, oh no, this is wrong, start again?
Well, kind of, but at least with colours you can change them. You don't have to go back to the beginning. You can just clean your lino plate and then try another colour.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It does take a few goes to get the right combinations. It depends what the subject is. Sometimes it just seems to work with certain colours and other different types of compositions with other colours. I don't know why, really. I try not to think about it too much.
Yeah, no, it's better not to think about it. Do you do a lot of commission work then as well?
I've done a fair few bits and bobs. Over the years, I've done some work for Paul Smith Menswear.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Did some T-shirts for them, which was kind of fun. It was for their Japanese store, so I don't think anyone in the UK actually saw any of them. But there we go.
That's brilliant.
I've done some work for Domino Records. And I'm working on a couple of commissions at the moment. One for a book of absurd literature, which is quite fun. It's an academic book of absurd literature.
Love it.
And another one is for a gallery in Yorkshire that I'm doing a lino cut of their gallery, basically. I'm right in the middle of doing that at the moment.
All sound really exciting projects that you've been working on.
They are, yeah. Things just pop up. And I don't sort of have a battle plan for commissions and stuff. They just seem to pop up, and luckily the ones that pop up appeal to me. So there we go.
I think it's nice as well because it allows you to create something new as well, and explore something different that you might not explore in your everyday work, because you're kind of used to the process and you're used to the way that you work. But when you get a commission, it kind of takes you in a different direction, doesn't it? And then might bring something back to your work,
Exactly, yeah. It makes me think slightly differently, and and that's good, because otherwise I'd probably go completely mad.
What do you love most about what you do?
I love the process of cutting a line out and working out what goes where, and then getting to the point where I do a test print, and then having a little peek and see what it looks like, and then I just love all that. It's quite exciting, really. It's a really physical process. I used to work as a graphic designer, and with a lot of digital processes and stuff, and I found that it was kind of unfulfilling, really. And when I got back to physical processes and stuff that it gets you mucky, I just found it a lot more fun, a lot more fulfilling, and I don't know, I feel like I'm doing something that is engaging my brain a little bit more.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Yeah, that does make sense, definitely. So out of all of your collection, what's your best seller?
Up until very recently, there's a liner cut that I did called Red Donkey Regrets the Adventure. It's just a picture of a little red donkey standing on top of a hill, looking a bit lost and not quite sure what to do. And that's done very well. In fact, it's sold out now, the original edition. But I've just created a poster version of it in slightly different colours and stuff, and that seems to be selling well too. So people seem to, I don't know, somehow connect with the idea of biting off a little more than you can chew, perhaps.
And I like your ideas as well. Where do you write stories then? Or is it just kind of, do you just go from a tagline or?
Well, the titles always come up last, and I never really think of the titles. A lot of my more sort of absurd-looking pictures sometimes come from dreams. I have a lot of strange dreams and kind of things that don't necessarily make any sense. So the only way that I can try and make sense of it is by turning it into a picture. And the donkeys kind of started out like that, and I've just sort of pushed that further into this sort of series of pictures of donkeys that are all slightly unfortunate and slightly browbeaten, but have some kind of appeal to me. I'm not quite sure what it is, but again, I try not to think about it too much. I just go with it,
Yeah, let it flow.
Yeah.
So, what's your favourite piece?
I don't know. At the moment, recently I did a landscape called the Monsell Trail, which was my first sort of attempt at a rural landscape. I'd previously not done stuff like that, just because I like to. I don't know. I sometimes the idea of a rural landscape can sound a little bit cliched and a little bit sort of it's done a million times. But I thought I'd have a go, and I actually really enjoyed it. And the scene that I did, I was quite inspired by when I actually saw it in real life. So there was this definite connection between myself and the landscape, and it felt like I could give it something, and I was pretty happy with the result. Well, I took loads of photos when I was. Yeah. I was travelling back from a craft fair in Cheshire, and I stopped and I saw all these people looking over a wall, and I was like, "What are they doing?" So I stopped, and I'd look over this wall, and there was this fantastic scene. So I got my camera out and just took loads and loads of pictures. Got home, sort of made a composition and turned it into a lino cut.
I love that process though, of like seeing something and then creating it in a different way, and especially with the landscape as well. Like you said, are you going to be doing more landscapes?
Yeah, well, I've just finished.
Are you hooked now?
I've just finished some more Sheffield landscapes as well, so I'm going to be selling those soon, I think, and some more Whitby stuff as well. But yeah, I don't have a plan necessarily of what I do with my landscapes and things. So it's just, if one pops up that I like, then I'll do it, I guess.
Then it happens, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's our 10th art market. What are you looking forward to the most to see?
I always like looking at ceramics. It's kind of something that I've never really got into myself, but I really love looking at really good ceramic wares. So I should be having a good nosy around to see if I can see some of that.
Have you got any particular favourites that you like, or?
I'm just fascinated by all the different techniques and how I don't know, because I can sort of compare techniques compared to what I do, and ceramics just seems like another planet. It really does. It's just so utterly complex, and I'd love to get into it one day, but not quite yet.
You should have a lesson with somebody.
Yeah, maybe I should. Well, I've been trying to make some ceramic donkeys, but they've not been quite working out. Their legs keep falling apart.
Oh, no.
But I'll get there one of these days.
Maybe that's part of the charm.
Yeah, I'm not sure people would buy them, though.
Oh, and you do workshops as well, don't you?
Yeah, I run liner cut workshops.
Are they quite regular, or is it just like...
I do them roughly once a month in Sheffield as a workshop space that I hire in Sheffield, and it seems to be going really well. People seem to be quite inspired by it. I was sort of taken aback by how popular they'd be, to be honest. I just did one or two as a favour initially, and more and more people said they wanted to do it, so it's been rolling on since then.
Do you enjoy teaching them? Do you enjoy that the difference?
Yeah, I didn't think I would, to be honest, but I do really enjoy it.
And have you got any exciting news to share with us, apart from all your amazing commissions that you've just done?
Not really, no. I mean, I'm actually bringing some ceramics along to the art market. I haven't made them myself, but I've got some plates and I've put my donkey images on them. So I should be bringing those along. So I'm quite looking forward to selling those for the first time.
So you're going to do more and more ceramics then? That's good.
I quite like the idea of doing plates and mugs and things like that. But I'm not making them myself, but I just buy the whiteware in and I transfer my image onto them. And I quite like that. It's sort of creating a practical use for my art, I guess.
Yeah, and it's just a different medium to work with as well, isn't it?
Yeah, indeed.
So, thank you very much for speaking to us, and look forward to seeing you at the art market.
My pleasure.
If you would like to know more about the art markets, go to www.artmarkets.co.uk. The next art markets will be on Saturday the 3rd of November 8 till 10 in the evening, Sunday the 4th of November 10 a.m. to 4 p.m, Saturday the 10th of November 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. in the evening, and Sunday the 11th of November 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Home Firth Indoor Market. We look forward to seeing you all there.